Every year, millions of people, with fans of the Aviators among them, attend air shows across North America. With static display aircraft, food vendors everywhere, and potentially hundreds of thousands of people all around you, an air show can easily be overwhelming. And that's without even mentioning the airplanes overhead tumbling and rolling across the sky. No one knows this better than Rob Reider. With more than 33 years' experience announcing air shows, ensuring that everyone goes home happy is one of the biggest things Rob does.
My job at the air show is to fulfill several roles. One, to make the aerial performers look like they're the best thing that ever happened on the planet. Number two, to tie things together so that there is a flow to the show, and working with the air boss is crucial to that.
Coming up in just a moment, look to the left. Ladies and gentlemen, on the left.
And the third thing, and probably the one that's used least, is to be that safety link in case something actually does go wrong. And that includes lost kids or lost parents, as the case may be. But in the case of an incident, then the announcer's job is to get into crowd control to some respect and make sure that things stay orderly and people don't panic.
The introductory flight will provide what no video...
Many people will also recognize Rob as the on-screen host of Sporty's Pilot Shop's instructional videos.
We've certainly covered a lot of ground exploring the Aspen evolution. And by this time, you may feel as though you're drowning in new information.
Between announcing and his work with Sporties, Rob is a veritable encyclopedia of aviation knowledge.
Depending on whose history book you read, there were about 10,000 of these airplanes built.
This is crucial, as when something goes wrong behind the scenes, like an aircraft having mechanical issues, Rob can keep the audience entertained while the issue is fixed.
When there's a lull, I can be there to stretch, to talk, to keep the show going, and so it doesn't go silent. You don't want to leave them guessing. You want to kind of guide the audience through the whole thing. And if that means doing some extra commercials, if that means talking about a static display aircraft, if that means encouraging people to go buy something or eat something, or if that means just letting everybody know the flow of what's going to happen next, all those things can come into play so that the show flows better and it becomes an air show. Because above all, it may be great aerial performances, but it is aerial entertainment. It's an air show. And so we don't practice, we rehearse. That's what that first day is for us. It's not just a practice, it's a rehearsal. So we try to do it the way we're going to do it.
Unfortunately, with week-long events like Sun and Fun and AirVenture, rehearsing is simply not possible.
He's been flying for 25 years and 6,000 hours.
The schedule changes every day as performers come and go. But for a weekend air show, it's normal for a full-motion rehearsal to be held the Thursday or Friday before the show.
Continues around this minimum radius turn, demonstrating the...
It's always very important, particularly with an act that I've not worked with much before. So I know how far out they are. I can start my read and get the timing right, so I'm reading the script as it was given to me as the airplanes come by, and so the timing works. Rehearsals are very, very important, and if the show doesn't do a rehearsal and just throws some acts in the air, then it's okay for the performers to understand where they are in the aerobatic box, but it doesn't help with anything that has to do with flow. If we rehearse how we're going to do it, and we know that in the case of the warbirds, they're going to be stacked this way, this way, this way, and we can rehearse that ahead of time. Then when it actually comes for the show, the audience gets better explanations, gets better views, gets better understanding, and enjoys the warbirds more.
In 2007, Rob's contribution to the airshow community was recognized when he won the International Council of Airshows Sword of Excellence. Rob is also an honorary member of the U.S. Navy Blue Angels. But Rob's biggest goal has nothing to do with personal accomplishment.
I think part of the goal of what I would like to have happen with my career as an airshow announcer is to get more people involved in aviation. I have been working with Sporty's Pilot Shop for 25 years now as the on-camera host for their video pilot training series. People have watched me age over the last 25 years. You know, I got a lot more gray now, but I get an opportunity to share my passion for flight with people, and maybe somebody is going to say, you know, I could do that. You know, I could do that. I could fly. And I have people come to me. I even had a person come to me, a lady in her 70s, say, I've been watching your videos. And so the more we can get people in aviation to fly and to love that passion for flight, to attend air shows, to be entertained. It's a great spectator sport. If I can help do that, that's a great accomplishment for my life, as well as to support the troops, the men and women of our armed services, whom I care for very, very deeply. You know, I got this Blue Angels crest. It's one of the proudest things that I own, that I was made an honorary Blue Angel back a year ago, September. And the team has allowed me to wear this crest. It's an honor for me to do that. The men and women of our armed services are the best of the best, and I love them dearly. And I want people around the country and around air shows to understand just what quality people the men and women of our armed services are.